G'day folks, I just thought I'd give everyone my tips on hiring a scooter in Thailand, in Batam. I'm sitting down on the beach at the moment. I'm going to have a swim in a minute. It's pretty nice down here. But I've hired a bunch of scooters over the time, and some good results and some not so good. So I'm going to give you my tips. The first one is the scooter's price range usually range between 200 baht a day and 300 baht a day. 200 baht being pretty much the bare minimum, and 300 baht being a good bike and quite expensive, depending on what you want. But a good bike, a big scooter, a new scooter, all that type of stuff. So, if you were to hire a 200 baht a day bike and a 300 baht a day bike, you'd be looking at $68 a week or $102 a week. So the only difference really over that whole week is $34. So it's not that much difference between a cheap old bike and an expensive new bike. So this is what I have to say. The first tip is, I've got my notes here, the first tip is don't worry about the price of the bike. If it's 200 baht a day, it's fine. It's not the biggest problem you've got. If it's 300 baht a day, it's still fine. Don't worry too much about it. What is most important, in my opinion, is that the bike is new as you can get, because you're going to have less problems. The brakes will usually be better. The lights will usually be better. It'll be a better bike, and by far, if you rent an old shitty bike for 200 baht a day and you have a problem and they try and make you pay for it, it's very, very quickly and easily gonna blow out your $34 a day, $34 a week savings. So don't worry too much about the price, just get a new bike and a good bike. Now the next one is I've hired bikes from off the side of the road, and I've hired bikes from a hotel and a nice resort. And by far, every time, in my opinion, you're way better off going to the resort and the fancy hotel. When I first got here this trip, so November 2019, I hired a bike for one day that was 150 baht. So my price range that I'm talking about here is 200 to 300 baht. And I hired one for 150 baht thinking, oh cool, I saved some money. But once I got, you sit on the bike and you rock it and you push it forward and the brakes work and all that stuff. Took it up the road, took it up the hill down the other side, and I had practically no brakes. It was so dangerous. The suspension was rough as guts, and because it was so rough, every time I hit a hole, the mirrors would unadjust. So I could see at the start, you hit a bump, all your mirrors would fold down, you couldn't see behind you. So that was off the side of the street. So I thought, that's no good. So the next day, I walked around the street. So for 3 or 4 days I didn't have a scooter this trip when I took the free buses. And while I did that, I looked and inquired at about 3 or 4 different scooter places. So that's why I know all the prices were about 200 baht a day to 300 baht a day. Now, then I went to another place that had a whole bunch of new looking bikes. And I'd say they looked new. They were pretty new. They were all Honda Clicks, nice bikes. Hired one, it was 200 bucks a day. I told him if it's going to be good, I want it for a week. So can I get a discount? So I got my discount, which is how it come down to 200 baht a day. Took it into town, was in town, it was dark, started the bike, checked the lights, which I should have done when I left, and I had no brake lights. So I took it back to the shop and I said, I've got no brake lights, can I have another bike? Because he had a whole bunch lined up. And this guy, he was okay, there was no problem, but I kid you not, he checked about 6 bikes and none of them had brake lights. It was I was shocked. I thought, how can none of these bikes have brake lights? Either the maintenance must be so down that they blow all these globes and they don't recheck them, because it can't be a Honda. You know, they couldn't release a scooter that had no brake lights or that were faulty all the time. So out of all his bikes, he had no bikes with brake lights. So thankfully he gave me my money back and said go somewhere else. So that was a good looking scooter hire place. The next day I went to a big fancy hotel and they had scooters, and my experience was way better. I got a brand new Honda Click. It was, I think it might have been 300 baht a day, but they gave it to me for a discount of 200 baht a day, so I got a brand new bike for the same price as the last one with no tail lights, because I rented it for a month, so I got a discount. But I reckon the lady, she was very nice and she would have given me a discount anyway. So the bike's brand new, everything worked, the blinkers worked, I checked, the brake lights worked, I checked the brakes worked, disc brakes, all that stuff, so it was way better, and it was the same price. So go to a hotel, this is my opinion, because the hotel has a reputation to keep and they want to make their customers happy and to come back. The guy on the street, I don't think he cares that much because there's such a huge influx of people coming through. So the hotel, I think, has got more to lose if something's not right. So she was very nice. She gave me 2 helmets. I only needed 1 helmet, but she gave you 2 helmets if you wanted it. She went out and checked the rego to make sure it was okay. Now, what the other places that I've rented a bike off in the past have not done is they haven't told me to take photos of the bike. I've always taken photos, as many as I can, and you can see that the shop owner is not happy with this, but you take photos of the front and the back and the sides and all that type of stuff, so that when you bring it back they can't blame a scratch on you and make you pay for it. They can't blame a crack or a dent or something that might be on the bike. So they don't tell you to take photos of the bike. This place, the hotel, told me to go out and take photos because they don't want a problem when I bring the bike back, and I thought that was really good and very reassuring that they weren't going to try and scam me at the end. Also, the bike from the hotel had its own extra insurance, so it covered if the bike was stolen, if I crashed it, if I hurt somebody on it, they had insurance for that as well. So I have my own insurance, my travel insurance, but they had that as well, and I thought that was a good thing because all the other places haven't had that, and I have checked. Also, the hotel, while I think of it, was the only place I've ever been who asked to see my international driver's license, because they don't want to rent bikes to people that can't ride or that don't have a license to do so, and I thought that was really good as well. So that covers my tips on hiring a scooter in Thailand. So again, don't worry too much about the price. This is my opinion. Between 200 baht and 300 baht a day is pretty normal, but don't worry too much about that. Just try and get yourself the newest bike you can find, because it's probably the most reliable, it's probably the safest, and you won't have any troubles with it. And you won't save that much money or spend that much more by getting a new bike. Second thing was go to a proper scooter hire business, and my suggestion is a big hotel, because they've got the reputation to keep their customers happy, and it matters to them what your experience is like. I wouldn't go to a cheap place on the street again. I've done it in the past and I wouldn't do it again. Take photos of the bike regardless of where you hire it from. Take as many as you can, front, back, sides, up, down. Check the lights, check the brakes. Take photos of the seats so that if you bring it back and there's a problem, you can double check it onto the photos that you took before you took the bike. Have your own insurance, by all means have your own insurance for everything, but the better places, like I said before, have insurance as well at no extra cost, because all their stuff is covered. And that is about it. So they're my tips on hiring a scooter in Phuket in Thailand. Alright, see you in the next video. Gonna go take a swim now, out there. It's nice and cool today. See you later. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel. You can leave a comment if you like, and you'll get new videos every time I upload them. See you soon.